Hi everyone, good morning. Happy Monday. I hope you all had a nice weekend. The significant majority of this assembly is going to be done by Mr. Jeffries, who you can see sat to my left, and he's going to be doing a briefing for you, talking to you about your end of year progression exams and making sure you have the relevant information. For information, I am recording this assembly and I will send it home to your parents or carers. So if you do miss anything, they'll be able to help you go through that. But firstly, I've just got a few notices, so I'm going to really quickly share my screen and talk through those notices. Right then. So firstly, today we have a period 6 talk. It's about university life. There's a lady called Sumaya from Leicester University. She's a current psychology student. So she's going to talk a little bit about psychology, but the focus of her talk will be university life and what to expect. This is relevant for anyone thinking of going to university, so I strongly recommend that a number of you attend that. Secondly, for the last few days, the boys' toilets in T Block have been absolutely disgusting. Now, I don't know whether this is yourselves or Year 13, so I'm not making any accusations, and I'm going to say exactly the same thing to Year 13. But on Friday, somebody had urinated in a bottle, thrown it in the toilet, and covered it up with toilet roll. That is not acceptable. And that was in addition to the fact there was loo roll all over the floor. There was goodness knows what smeared on the walls of the cubicles. It's disgusting. Honestly, when I was asked to go and have a look and I nearly puked. It was disgusting. If that is you, do not do that. Girls' toilets have been a lot better than that, but there is still toilet roll flung around. There are bins in there for a reason. Either put the loo roll down the loo or put it in the bin. Do not throw it around. That's absolutely disgusting. If this continues, then we're going to have to start monitoring more closely. I do not want to be monitoring the toilets of a 16 to 18-year-old sixth form. Anyway, the silent study, we've noticed that it's got more chatty. Now, this one is mostly you because we've been tracking it. Year 13 have their final exams, which start in 3 weeks. If you want to talk, go to the cafe, go to the IT suite, go to the main study centre. You do not need to talk in either the library or the silent study space. The silent... Sorry? Whoever that is, could you just mute, please? The silent study space is the only space where we require you to be completely silent, and that is meant to be self-pleased. I do not have capacity to sit in there all the time, nor does the team. Whoever's that is, could you just mute your microphone, please, and let me try and do it for you? There we go. I'll share my screen again. Sorry about that, everyone. Yes, we do not have capacity as teachers to supervise the silent study all week. Now, I like treating the sixth form like adults. It's the absolute ethos behind everything I do. And I'm really sad to say that the one time I've treated you like children was the lanyards thing. And with the lanyards thing, I treated you like children. I took your phones off you if you refused to wear them. And within 3 days, the lanyard problem was solved. I don't want to have to go down that route with the silent study because actually I want to treat you like adults. But the fact of the matter is, if you insist on talking in the silent study, I'm going to have to start banning you, writing to your parents and all of that sort of thing. And I don't want to do that. So I'm giving you a week to sort it out. We're going to do spot checks throughout the week. If the silent study isn't silent this week, then we're going to have to start putting in harsher sanctions. And I don't want to do that. Mr. Shepherd has emailed to all your parents about an amazing opportunity. We have a partnership with the Social Sciences faculty at Coventry University through the Period 6 talks, and they've invited us to an event they're running where they have an Indigenous speaker who talking about life in the rainforest and the environmental changes happening at the moment, and that's going to be absolutely amazing. That faculty does a lot of work looking at the environmental changes around the rainforest. Mr. Shepherd sent details about that. If you're interested, please sign up with Miss Armitage. On Thursday, we have Verdi from The Apprentice doing a talk in the theatre straight after school. And finally, some glasses and 4 silver rings of assorted patterns were found in the cafe. So if any of those are yours, please can you come and collect them from my office. Right then, I'm going to hand straight over to Mr. Jeffries, who will do the majority of the assembly around the exams that you have coming up. Mr. Jeffries.
Thank you, Ms. Green. Good morning, everybody, and thank you to mentors for allowing me some time this morning to talk to you about the exams at the end of term. Thank you to you also, students, for patience while we're going through this. So I want to talk to you about the progression exams, which will take place at the end of term, the first week of July. You will have, or you may have, in-class assessments alongside these exams, either the week before or the week after, or both. The in-class assessments your teachers will tell you about, whether you've got them and what they involve and when they will be. So I'm talking to you only about the formal exams in formal venues for the first week of July. So it's not always a celebratory event for exams, but it is a chance for you to show how much you've learned, how ready you are for year 13. The reason we do them is similar to other mock exams you've done in the past. They show what progress you're making with the learning that you've got, and they help teachers to decide which areas they need to target teaching, if there are areas that your work suggests that. The progression exams, as the title suggests, it might affect what you do in year 13. So they are important for that reason. The other important thing about the progression exams is that if you do miss exams in the summer season in year 13, we may need evidence from exams sat in exam conditions to inform the exam boards and to help them reach assessments that are based on teacher grades rather than the external exams. The other thing from my point of view, which is important, is that you get used again to the conditions that you're going to be doing exams in year 13 in the summer, so that when we get there, the things that you are asked to do and the rules that you have to comply with aren't a surprise to you. They shouldn't be a surprise to you at any point, because you've been through exams before at GCSE and mock exams in the past, so they're not new things, but we just need you to get used to them again so that they don't trip you up in the main exams in the summer. And a little bit similar to the previous point, they do provide evidence for teachers if they are asked to produce centre assessed grades, which isn't likely to happen, but the progression exams are one of the main sources of evidence for that it happens. So the progression exams, as I mentioned, they are the week beginning the 1st of July to Friday the 5th, so just 1 week of exams. They will take place mainly, if you don't have exams in other rooms, they'll probably be in the sports hall. Some of the exams will take place in E-block classrooms, and if you have access arrangements that require alternative rooming, you might be in T-block study upstairs, which year 13 will be using for their exams for access arrangements. Which room you're in will become clear when we put the seating plans up after half term. They'll be posted somewhere down here in the admin corridor in the sixth form. And when those plans go up, if you think that you're in the wrong place, if you're in the sports hall and you think you should be somewhere else, or you're in one of the other rooms and you don't need to be there, if you just make sure you come and let us know so that we can get that right for the exams in July. So your mentors have been given a number of things to give out to you from today. You've got a composite timetable which has all the exams on it, and most of them, as you'll see, they are in the sports hall, with a few exceptions if you're in the main venues. You've only got one exam per subject in that week. Obviously in the summer, depending which subjects you do, you will have more than that, but this week of progression exams, there's only one exam per subject. So those timetables you'll need to get from your mentors. If you've got friends who aren't here this morning, if you can pass the message on that they need to get those timetables. What we're asking you to do with these is, first of all, check to see if you've got any clashes. We've tried to organise the timetable so there aren't any, but if we have missed anything, if you think you've got a clash with two exams on at the same time, if you could come and see us to try and sort that out. We can be a little bit flexible with the progression exams if you're not available on a day when the exam appears to take place, or you miss it because of ill health for any reason. With the progression exams, we can be a little bit more flexible than we're able to be in the summer. If you know in advance that these times might be a problem, if you come and see me in the exams office, we'll try and sort that out for you. So getting ready for your exams, check obviously with your teachers, make sure you're clear what areas are being tested in those exams in that week. You've got plenty of time now to prepare a revision plan. You've got the timetable, you know what exams you're doing, so it'd be a good idea to draw up a revision plan for that week and put it into practice, and make sure you've got a timetable, both the composite rooming timetable. You will also have an individual one, which your mentors will also give out to you this week. Just make sure that you've got both those timetables, the composite one and your individual timetable. And just a few reminders. During your progression exams, the normal lessons for the week are suspended. So yes, you do have study leave that week. You wear the normal apparel which complies with the dress code. We've also mentioned where the exams are. The only reason you should have any food in a room, in an exam room, is if you are diabetic and need to take something to boost your sugar levels. And the only drink you're allowed, as you know, is only water in a clear bottle. So make sure you're in good time with the exams. They are happening in different places, so you need to make sure you know where to go and give yourselves time to get there. Make sure you're wearing your ID lanyard. This is something that will be enforced during the exams, and if you're not wearing your ID lanyard, then that might delay you getting into an exam and add to the stress, which we want to avoid. So make sure you're wearing your ID lanyard during the exams. The seating plans will be up on the walls over here, and there will also be a copy of it outside the exam room. So just make sure that you know where you're going once you're inside the room. As usual, during the exams, mobile phones must be turned off, and we will. This slide's a little bit out of date, so we will take the phones in, and you'll be given them back at the end of the exam. Make sure you come properly equipped. The minimum you'll need is a black pen, but obviously if you're doing things like maths and physics or science exams, you will need the appropriate equipment. And obviously no communication allowed in the exam room. The sources of help for you leading up to that period, your subject teachers, you need to make sure that you're clear about what topic areas are in your exams, and if you've got any in-class assessments, you need to check with your subject teachers. People who've been through exams before, if you might need them for practical or emotional support, your friends and family, your sixth form mentors, Miss Green, Mr. Shepherd, Miss Gossel, Miss Armitage are there to support you if you need it. Obviously, that's one of the main reasons I'm here. If you've got any exam related questions, then do feel confident in coming to see us. There's plenty of revision materials online, and there is a lot of support on Frog. Okay, this is a copy of the exam board rules, which I'm not going to bore you with at this point, but you do need to be familiar with them. You will get a hard copy between now and the exams taking place, and there is a copy on the school website. The results of those exams you should be getting before the end of term. It obviously depends a little bit when your exams are in that week, but you should get those results back. And details of how you get those will follow before the exams take place. You shouldn't need luck, but we wish it to you anyway. So that's me done for the moment. If you do have questions about the exams, do come and see us. hopefully, if your mentors have picked up your timetables and exam information, they will have that with them. If they haven't, then you can collect them during mentor period in the rest of this week. Okay, thank you for your patience. Thank you for your time. We're going to sign off here.
Cheers, Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah. You went on here, or?
Yes. I'm not sure if I'm up.
Yeah.